Hey Trajectory team, we're going to talk this week about not giving up. Now I know that a lot of these videos are going to blend together over the course of the next few years, but I just want to talk specifically today about not giving up. Let me tell you why. Today I was visiting in some hospitals, as pastors do a lot, but we were in hospitals and I was talking to different people who were going through surgeries. Some of them were outpatient surgeries, some of them were pretty serious surgeries, and all of them had this one common theme: I'm not going to give up, we're going to keep going. And then you would meet somebody who had just maybe had a very minor surgery, who was just completely giving up on everything that's called life. And I couldn't quite understand what was going on there. Had to encourage, had to build, had to help them. And but the two I saw today were very, very encouraging, and they had a "I'm not ever going to give up" kind of attitude. In fact, it hasn't been long ago that I was talking to a man in the hospital who was dealing with stage 4 cancer, who had that very, very same attitude. He said, "I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to keep going. God has a plan for this." He said, "I'm ultimately healed here or healed there." He said, "But I want to live, and I'm going to give it everything I got." And I thank God for an attitude like that. It certainly encourages me when I can go to the hospital and hoping to pray for people, and I leave encouraged. What an incredible place to be. And listen, I want you to know something. You may be in a place where things have gotten really, really hard in life. You may have gotten to a place where your business is not doing what you wanted it to do. You desperately wanted it to do this, but you had a plan. You had it going from point A to point B and going as fast and furious as it possibly could. It didn't quite make it there. But here's the thing. You're still in the process. You're still working toward that. I was just talking to a friend today. In fact, he'll probably watch this, but a friend of mine named Michael Clout down there in Barnesville, Georgia. He's down he's going to be moving to Jacksonville, Florida, but he lives in Florida now, going to be moving over to Jacksonville, Florida. And he was just telling me today, he says, still going. He's still going strong, late 40s, and still trying to get get that grind, going out there, working very hard, not going to give up, still trying to fulfill some dreams out there. His kids growing up, raising a great family and a wonderful marriage, and just doing wonderful. The idea here is, look, you're going to hit obstacles. I don't know where everybody got this, that you have to be privileged enough not to have any problems. I don't know anybody like that. I don't know who these phantom people are that don't have problems along the way. If you have goals, you have problems, okay? And you're going to have obstacles. That's part of it. That's part of getting there. I don't know why people think it has to be the easy way, or if they're praying to the Lord, "Hey Lord, would you please make this a smooth path?" Listen, there's no way. You can't climb a smooth mountain. If that side of that mountain's as slick as it can be, you're not getting up it. You're going to have some bumps, some bruises, some scratches, some scrapes, some times where you're a little scared, a little fearful, and have a little bit of anxiety along the way, so that you can trust in God, so you can trust that the plan that you've put down, that you can keep working toward that. And maybe sometimes, I heard a gentleman say just the other day, you may not, he said, what if I do all of this and I don't end up at that spot? Well, look, here's the thing. If you whatever spot you end up is on the way to the next spot. And I heard that, I thought, man, that's incredibly profound, because wherever you get to is a place getting to the next spot. Okay, so the different plans, different ways, you're going to end up one place and you're like, man, this wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be. It could be that something falls into your lap and you weren't even thinking about it. A lot of inventions happen that way. They were looking for one thing and they ended up with another. A lot of cures for diseases, they were looking for one thing and they ended up with another. Just a amazing way things happen, amazing way that God put laws into being in this world. You just end up with that. And look, you have the right to scream, you have the right to cry, you have the right to do any of those things. You do not have the right to give up. This is a dream that was given to you. This is something that you want to do. This is a goal that you have. You don't give up. It's going to be as hard as it possibly can be right before you get to where you're going. I've read story after story. You've probably heard, video after video or story after story about someone who's maybe drilled for oil and stopped, 50 feet too soon, or somebody who, there was a gold a line of gold going through the earth, and they got to where they were drilling in one direction. If they had just gone 3 feet another direction, they would gotten. If they would just kept going. I know a friend of mine who was drilling for a well in his backyard. He's since passed away. Older gentleman has since passed away, but he was drilling for a well in his backyard years ago. And they were just going as hard as they could with that, and they went deep and deep and deep and deep. Just kept going deep and deep and deep. And finally, they hit water. He was about to give up. And the people at the well, they said, no, I'm telling you, we can get there. And after hundreds of feet, Finally, they hit water, artesian wells, just water just coming up out of there. He had plenty of good, cold, clean water. And what an amazing thing. That's true in your life. Any goal that you have, you're gonna end up with that. You're gonna end up with those hard times where you're just about ready to give up, and you don't need to do that. I have seen time and time again in science fiction where they'll get in those spaceships, and all of a sudden there's this speed called warp speed. Hit warp speed. That means so fast ahead. Look, success doesn't happen fast like that. It doesn't happen in warp speed. All right. A lot of people are going to give you, they're going to say, oh, listen, look, they walked right into that, or that, look at that success, or look at what they've got, or, look at that, it happened overnight. No, friends, generally success, that overnight success took decades to get to. And that's just the way it is. I mean, you do have some young people that are, thanks to technology, who are getting famous pretty quick, but they're having to put the time and effort into it, and they're having to do some very, very tough things to get there. And I'm not so sure, without having those tough grinds of decades, I'm not so sure that they would appreciate it quite as much as many people would. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. I just don't think so. Maybe you have the longer grind, the longer you have to grind to get to where you're going. Hopefully, the more you're going to appreciate where it is that you get. But there is no warp speed to success, folks. And when you feel like giving up, just remember why you got into it in the first place. What was your goal in the first place? Why am I doing this? Am I doing this for my family? Am I doing this? Hopefully you're doing it for you too. But maybe you've got a ministry idea and you're like, man, I'm going to do this for the Lord. I just want to keep going and keep going. I don't want to give up, and I hope that I never will. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It's an old saying, but it's just true. 97% of the people who give up, 97% of the people who give up will be working for the other 3% who didn't. So, I mean, it's just, I hope you understand. And you say, well, Ron, that's fine. Well, it's okay to work for somebody else, okay? It's quite all right. I do that. You mean, millions of people do that. But there are people out there who want to be entrepreneurs. There are people out there who have a dream to build a business, to build this, or to invent this, or this, and they want to do it on their own. Okay, and I've said this before, on your own is a relative term in the sense that you're always going to have people who are investing in one way or another in you, drawing out or putting in. You want to be around those who are putting in. So there's always going to be people helping you, but for the most part, you're sitting there and you're saying, I'm going to put it in time, I'm going to put it in the grind, I'm going to make this happen. So folks, get out there and do it. Don't give up. It's going to get nasty hard. It's going to be tough. I look around at our police officers out there that are, I don't know. The common theme out there now is that, as far as the news is concerned, is that, is they're this or they're that, and they're having to deal with the, with reputation. They're having to deal with, how do we love these people and, keep the law and all of these things. And it's so very tough on them. And sometimes you're like, no, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm not getting paid enough money. I'm not, I'm being disrespected and all these different things. You got teachers, the same thing in their schools, where we moved away from corporal punishment a long time ago. And now they're sitting there, positive behavior and, investments and things that they're doing in the schools, which seem to be working, fairly well. But at the same time, these teachers, sometimes they feel like there's no way to really get something done when it comes to discipline. Their hands are tied in those areas, or maybe just the nature of the business with so many kids coming in that are undisciplined and they just want to give up. Oh, don't give up. My goodness, teachers, don't give up. Why did you get into it in the first place? Just stay there and stay the course and keep going. Whatever you do, keep going. And for pastors out there who want to quit because their people are just giving them all kinds of Hades and they don't know what to do, you just keep going. Why are you in the first place? You're in it because of the Lord. You're in it because of the Lord, and He said it would be tough. Anybody who told you ministry wasn't going to be tough is kidding themselves. That's ridiculous. It's awfully tough. If you're a factory worker, you're working in a factory, and you say, man, it's 9 to 5, and I'm having to do it every single day, and this is grind, and these people don't appreciate me, and all those kind of, you keep going because there's something you're trying to accomplish. Even if right now it's just paying the bills, get those things done and start saving and have some things that you can start investing in other areas. And don't you ever give up. Mom or dad, don't give up on your kids. Keep investing in them. They can be rebellious and running off and doing their thing, hooked on drugs, could be doing all sorts of things. Don't you give up on them. You keep going and you keep doing whatever you have to do to make sure that they know you love them. And look, you have to be hard sometimes. I get that. hard love, and you ought to be doing that. But at the same time, don't let them ever think that you don't love them. Don't you give up on them. God hadn't given up on them. You don't give up on them. And caretaker, somebody who's, listen, I'm day in, day out, I'm with this person, and it's just wearing me down, and my brothers and sisters aren't helping me, or maybe they are helping you. You're all worn out. Folks, don't give up on that person. Keep helping them. Keep loving them. I'm telling you, this is what this life is about. It's going to go by so quick. You're going to desperately need people to love you one day and take care of you, and it's all reciprocates. So please, whatever you do, don't give up. Don't give up. I've read the stories and seen the videos from Nick Vujicic, who has no arms and no legs, and yet he's able to speak and has a wife, has a child, and maybe even multiple children by now. I'm not sure, but just the incredible story of how he encourages people and loves people. It's amazing. Bill Porter, who I read about, who had a disease and was great in sales. I've seen many Olympians. You can go online and read about them who had tough stories and tough training and ended up winning gold and silver and bronze and all these medals and stuff. And you just need to go. You need to be encouraged by some of these stories. Just don't give up. One of my favorite actors, Sylvester Stallone, though recently in a Rambo movie that I cannot see because it's so gory and filthy. But I'm gonna tell you, back in the day with the Rocky movies, I used to absolutely love those Rocky movies. And just the story of him being in such a place when he was trying to break into acting that he had to sell his dog, which was so heartbreaking. Ended up buying him back, but it's a great story if you have a chance to go and see it. Just don't give up. The story of Oprah Winfrey, who all the things that she went through, and she just never would give up. Just give it a chance, folks. Go and watch those stories. And regardless of where you see them or where you see yourself, or if you don't like those people or not, the bottom line is go and check out their stories and see how they got to where it is they're going. You're close to a breakthrough, folks. You're this close to that goal that you're looking for. You're this close to that oil that you're looking for. And I don't want you to give up in any of this. And no matter what your endeavor is, no matter what it is you're trying to do, no matter what it is the goals that you've written down or any of those things, you'll be able to meet it if you just won't give up. All right, it's going to get slow as molasses. It's going to get slow as you've ever seen, slow as that slug that's on your porch. I mean, it is slow, but I'm telling you, if you won't give up, good things are going to happen. It happens like that. It's always, listen, there are going to be people who tell you it can't be done. There are going to be people that tell you you're too slow, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too tall, you're too short. They're going to tell you all those things because they don't want you to succeed. Okay? They don't want you to see. It's going to make them look bad. It's going to make them look like they didn't put in the effort. You put in the effort. You put in the time. You do whatever you got to. Your brain right now, inside your brain, is begging you to quit. It's begging you to quit, but your heart's telling you you can't. Okay, that brain's telling you your muscles are they're aching and you can't do anymore. You're tired. Your feet are telling you you can't stand on them anymore. Your legs are telling you they can't walk anymore. Your arms are telling you you can't lift anymore. Your chest is pounding from just needing oxygen and trying to pull it in, and you're sweating. You can't do anything. You just don't know what else you can do. You've decided you're done. You've decided you're done. That's the point where you've got to make a final decision. I will not be done. I will not be done. I hear it all the time, folks, guys and gals alike. They're like, listen, you can do this to me, you can do that to me, but you can't outwork me. I hear tons and tons of people saying that. Okay, well, the truth of the matter is, somebody just might outwork you. You might have equal talent, okay? Equal talent, but if one of them outworks the other one, talent doesn't mean squat. Talent doesn't mean anything if somebody else will outwork them. So folks, I'm going to tell you something. Talent does help some in the sense that it can help you get closer to this hard-working person. This hard-working person will nail you every time, all right? And it's not a competition against them. It's a competition against yourself. How hard are you going to work? And how long are you going to look yourself in the mirror and say, I will not quit. I will not stop. I know why I'm in this. I know why I'm in ministry. I know why I'm in teaching. I know why I'm a police officer. I know why I'm a mom. I know why I'm a dad. I know why I'm these things. Folks, if you know that, then don't let the negative thought come into you that you want to quit, that you don't want to do anymore. What you want to do is you want to say, I will not quit. I will work. I will work, and I'll get it done. And God's going to give you that strength. God's going to give you that strength. Believer, if you're out there and you say, I don't know what I can do, I want you to trust in the Lord. I want you to get on your knees, and I want you to trust in Him. I want you to pray all you can, but God's going to expect you to have skin in the game. He's going to expect you to work very, very hard to get where it is you're going. He'll give you the supernatural. You got to do the natural. Friends, I love you. Trajectory team, I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.